You've been programmed to believe that wealth means having money in the bank. But right now, as you're watching this, you're sitting on three categories of untapped riches that most millionaires would kill for. The problem isn't that you're broke. The problem is that you don't recognize the assets you already own. Here's what I'm going to show you. How to identify the time wealth you're hemorrhaging every day. The knowledge wealth collecting dust in your head, and the network wealth you're completely ignoring. By the end of this, you'll understand why you're not poor. You're just not activated. Your 168 hours per week are worth more than most people's annual salaries, but you're treating them like monopoly money. The wealthy don't have more time than you. They just understand that time is their primary currency, not their throwaway resource. Think about it this way. If you make $50,000 a year working 40 hours a week, your time is worth about $24 an hour. But that's just your employment rate. Your actual time wealth is exponentially higher because of compound effects. Every hour you invest in learning a high-value skill doesn't just pay you once. It pays you for the rest of your career. I learned this the hard way. For years, I spent my evenings scrolling social media, watching Netflix, complaining about my situation. I was burning through 40 hours a week of pure potential. That's 2,000 hours a year of wealth creation time that I was treating like garbage time. Here's what changed everything. I started tracking my time like rich people track their money. Every hour got categorized: wealth building time, maintenance time, or waste time. The results were shocking. I was spending less than 5% of my free time on activities that could actually improve my future. The wealthy think differently about time allocation. They use what I call the compound time principle. Instead of trading time for immediate gratification, they invest time in activities that generate returns for years. Learning a skill, building a system, creating content, developing relationships. These activities have exponential payback. Most people live reactively with their time. They respond to whatever demands their attention. Wealthy people live strategically. They protect their highest leverage hours like Fort Knox. They understand that not all hours are created equal. Your peak energy hours, usually the first 3 to 4 hours after you wake up, are worth 10 times more than your depleted evening hours. Yet most people give their peak hours to their employer and try to build their future during their worst hours. That's backwards wealth thinking. Here's a case study that'll blow your mind. Sarah, a teacher making $40,000 a year, started using her morning hour before work to learn copywriting. Just 1 hour a day. After 6 months, she was freelancing on weekends. After a year, she was making more from copywriting than teaching. After 2 years, she quit teaching and tripled her income. The math is simple but powerful. 1 focused hour per day equals 365 hours per year. That's 9 full work weeks of skill development. Most people waste that much time on their phones in 3 months. The 80-20 principle applies ruthlessly to time wealth. 20% of your hours generate 80% of your results. The problem is most people have never identified which hours those are. They're treating all time as equal, when some hours are worth 100 times more than others. Your time wealth isn't about having more hours. It's about recognizing that the hours you already have contain more potential value than most people's investment portfolios. The question isn't whether you have time. The question is whether you're treating your time like the precious, non-renewable resource it actually is. Every skill you've ever learned is a potential revenue stream, but you're suffering from expertise bias. You undervalue what comes naturally to you because you assume everyone else knows it too. That's the biggest wealth blindness of all. Here's the truth that'll shift your perspective. The knowledge sitting in your head right now is worth more than most people's retirement accounts. You just don't see it because you're too close to it. It's like sitting on a gold mine and complaining about being broke because you can't see the gold. I want you to do something right now. Think about the last time someone asked you for advice. What did they ask about? That question reveals a knowledge asset you own. Whether it was about parenting, cooking, budgeting, relationships, technology, or work processes, someone valued your expertise enough to seek it out. The expertise bias is brutal. You think I'm just good with spreadsheets, while someone else would pay $500 to learn what you know. You think I just know how to meal prep, while millions of people struggle with nutrition and would pay for your system. You think, I just understand social media, while businesses spend thousands trying to figure out what you do naturally. Here's how to audit your knowledge portfolio for hidden assets. Start with your work experience. What problems do you solve that others find difficult? What processes have you streamlined? What mistakes have you learned to avoid? Each of these represents teachable knowledge that people will pay for. Next, look at your hobbies and interests. What have you figured out through trial and error? What shortcuts have you discovered? What resources do you know about that others don't? Your weekend hobby could be someone else's desperate need. Then examine your life experiences. Have you navigated divorce, raised kids, dealt with difficult family members, overcome health challenges, managed debt, moved cities, changed careers? Each major life experience contains wisdom that others facing the same situation would value. The intersection method is where ordinary knowledge becomes extraordinary value. You don't need to be the world's best at anything. You need to combine skills in ways that create unique value. The fitness enthusiast who understands accounting can help gym owners with their finances. The parent who knows graphic design can serve other parents starting businesses. Teaching what you know is the fastest wealth activation strategy because it requires zero additional investment. You already own the knowledge. You just need to package and deliver it. The internet has eliminated every barrier between your expertise and people who need it. Real examples will prove this point. Mike was a factory supervisor who started making YouTube videos about workplace efficiency. He now makes 6 figures teaching productivity systems. Jennifer was a stay-at-home mom who shared her budgeting spreadsheets on social media. She built a $100,000 course business teaching financial organization. The pattern is always the same. Someone takes knowledge they consider basic and discovers that basic knowledge solves expensive problems for other people. Your basic knowledge is someone else's missing piece. Your contacts list is a dormant gold mine, but you're treating it like a phone book instead of a wealth generator. The relationship capital you've built over years of living, working, and connecting contains more opportunity than most investment portfolios. Here's what most people miss about network wealth. It's not about knowing important people. It's about understanding that every person you know has access to opportunities, resources, and connections that you don't. Your network is your net worth, but only if you activate it properly. The research on weak ties will change how you think about relationships. Your close friends and family mostly know what you know and have access to similar opportunities. But your weak ties, the acquaintances, former colleagues, and distant connections, they operate in completely different circles with completely different opportunities. That person you worked with 3 jobs ago might now be hiring for exactly what you want to do. That neighbor you occasionally chat with might know someone who needs your skills. That college friend you haven't talked to in years might have started a business that could use your expertise. The reciprocity principle multiplies your network wealth exponentially. When you help someone in your network, you're not just solving their problem, you're creating a relationship asset that compounds over time. People remember who helped them, and they look for ways to return the favor. Digital platforms have turned network leverage into a superpower. LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and industry-specific platforms let you maintain relationships that would have naturally faded. They let you stay visible to your network and demonstrate your expertise consistently. The compound effect of consistent relationship investment is staggering. Spending just 10 minutes a day engaging with your network, sharing valuable content, congratulating people on achievements, offering help where you can, creates exponential returns over time. Your network wealth isn't about using people. It's about creating genuine value for others while staying top of mind for opportunities. It's about understanding that in a connected world, your relationships are your greatest competitive advantage. Most people let their networks atrophy through neglect. They only reach out when they need something, which destroys relationship capital instead of building it. Wealthy people invest in relationships before they need them, which is why opportunities seem to find them effortlessly. You're not broke. You're just not activated. The wealth you're seeking already exists in your time allocation, your knowledge base, and your relationship network. The difference between where you are and where you want to be isn't more resources. It's better recognition and activation of what you already have. Start with one wealth category and build momentum. Pick the area that excites you most and commit to activating it over the next 30 days. Subscribe for the specific activation strategies that turn your hidden potential into visible profit.